getting customers in the store. That's still the number one function. And we're doing it in an environment now that's different than it was even 5, 6, 8, 10 years ago. Everybody has spent time on the internet getting an education, shopping manufacturers, shopping other retailers, gathering information, some of it correct, some of it incorrect. Talk about your whole philosophy as it relates to that in the advent here of this digital age.
Well, Dave, now you've asked me a question that's over my head here, because I'm not sure that I have the answers of how we correctly tackle this problem. I can tell you that it goes back to the report you just mentioned in the last question, that we want to do a good job with service. We want to make sure that if we sell a job and we service the job, that we have the opportunity to do their neighbors and their friends. We still think word of mouth is the strongest advertisement that can be out there. In this digital age you ask about, I think that's better served for somebody younger than me to answer, but we have appointed a guy recently to work on social media, and although we had social media, we had Facebook, and we had a few other venues out there, his job is going to be full-time to check on it day by day and make sure that we properly present the personality and the culture of Atlanta flooring through social media, because it's a little different personality when perceived by a millennial than it is someone my age. Yeah. My age, I don't think we really look at social media to form the personality of a company. And yet the younger people, whatever they be, 25 to 35, they look on social media to figure out how the culture and personality of someone like Atlanta Flooring is framed. So we've got someone that's younger, 30 years old, and he's trying to frame our appearance and our personality on social media to what the younger generation may look at. But I don't know, Dave, if that's going to get us one more customer or 1,000 more customers. What I know is that I'm told that that's what we must do, and I don't want to be ahead of the curve, but I really don't want to be behind the curve. So somewhere between all that, we're making our effort to do better on the digital age than we have in the past.
How about your philosophy about your website? I was on your website before I came out. It's a first-class one. You've got all of the areas represented well. What do you have a philosophy, and if so, what is it?
Well, we believe that the information must be on the website, because there are people who do, maybe a little bit older generation than the 25 to 35, will visit our website. So it's out there for really everyone to look at, and we believe that we've got to have up-to-date and clean data on our website so that we present the image to the masses of who we are on website. So Michael Barrows at Atlanta Flooring works hard on trying to make sure that information is up to date and necessary without being too much. I think at times we've had too much information, at times we've had too little. So he's someone that works with John, our website designer, in trying to make sure that we strike that balance between the too much and not enough to capture the customer's attention, and let them know we have a presence on the web and we mean something on the web, but we also want to get them through these doors.
Yeah. Well, it sounds to me, at least based on what I hear, that somewhere in the range of 90% of consumers are going to spend time researching floor coverings before they ever go into a store. As a matter of fact, if they're not enamored with your website, you're probably never going to see them walk through your front door. Would you agree with that?
I agree that that statement does carry some weight. A little of that, I'm just going to say, is a little bit skewed toward how old your demographics are around you. Yeah. We're in an area in a county where probably a lot of our demographics lends itself more to 35 up. I think that if you get a little closer to Atlanta and certain other pockets, there are a lot of people 35 and below. So with that said, I do believe that 90% of the people shop it, but I also believe that our location or locale and the folks that are around us will at least give us a shot when they drive by and see our store located on a main thoroughfare and easy access in and out and so forth. So I don't know that we lose a tremendous amount either with the web or without the web, but I know this, without it, we will definitely lose a lot.
Do you concern yourself about millennials? They tell me there's more millennials than boomers. And of course, every year you get another graduating class and you get more people who are at least potential floor covering buyers, and not so many years down the road, that will be the overwhelming
Right.
number of people who are the potential customers.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know that anybody's solved that riddle yet.
Well, I don't know of anyone that solved the riddle yet of the millennials either. I do know that there are a lot out there. I do know that their buying habits and their thought processes are definitely different than what you and I are used to. With that said, not many of them are homeowners yet. I just sat in on a seminar last week by a company called Smart Numbers. They're based out of Atlanta. Smart Numbers gives great data about new houses being sold, existing houses being sold, and who's buying those houses. And they still contend that the millennials are not buying houses. So therefore, they're not a tremendous amount. But they also say that they believe there will be a bump in millennials buying houses when the interest rates begin to tick up, whether that happens the 1st of December or the 1st of next year. I think we're all in agreement interest rates are going to tick up fairly soon. And we think a lot of them will get, the Smart Numbers people think a lot of them will get off the fence when the interest rates tick up. So we may see a bump in the market in some of those guys. So it may be that when some jump in, they begin to tell their friends and the rest jump in. But right now, all we know is that they seem to have this communication amongst themselves that their parents went through some very hard times. And they don't want to endure those hard times. And so therefore, they've stayed out of the market. So marketing to them has not been a big issue because not a tremendous amount are homeowners yet.
I gotcha. Last question. You've got a balanced organization. You're in all the basic food groups, including maintenance. You've got a well-balanced operation. What are you contemplating for the future?
We've experienced some great growth. Our future really depends on us continuing to get the new employees, because we have so many that are less than 1 and even less than 2 years old with our company. What we need to do is concentrate on training those employees to understand what the culture is of Riley Gazaway, Frank Winter, and myself. And I know it sounds simple when you say one customer at a time, and I say one phone call at a time, and we constantly say that. But I think sometimes when you have a company that has different divisions, that sometimes they will amongst themselves think, well, that's the builder's problem and not mine. That's retail and not mine. My goal and what we think on and figure out for the future is make sure that we run an organization that has the proper culture to take care of every customer that either calls in, comes through the door, or touches us on the digital communication. However they get to our front door, we want to make sure they're treated with respect and treated fairly. So the future for us is to making sure we digest what we've been blessed with these last 3 years. Beyond that, honestly, there could be some expansion in some additional markets. We were just fortunate enough to move into Chattanooga about 3 weeks ago, so we're going to be working hard to build a commercial business in Chattanooga. And then we may add commercial to Birmingham, and Charlotte and Raleigh are doing okay. So there may be some things we add to our existing branches. But Dave, I just don't wake up in the mornings and think how we can be a bigger company as much as I wake up and try to figure out how we continue to be a better company. And we have a long way to go on that. we've been so blessed and things look so good here, but there are a lot of things we can improve on, and that's what we need to do is to concentrate on our own house and make sure we improve it every day.
Very good. Donny, thanks for having us here, and thanks for sharing this with us. I appreciate it very much.
Dave, appreciate you and the efforts you give to our industry, and we sure appreciate Mr. Tom Jennings and his efforts. So you guys are welcome back anytime.
Well, I thank you for saying that. We've been talking with Donny Phillips. He is the owner of Atlanta Flooring Design Centers, and this is Talk Floor TV.